So this is a very special co-working with your host, Fanny Marku, and my very special guest of the first of the year, Edo from Sende. So I know Sende for a long time because it's kind of my dream destination, like in the countryside, in the middle of nowhere, where you breathe nature, fresh air, those kind of things. And but I don't know what the name didn't stick, so I forgot about it. I looked for it, like I was very stressed, and then just by chance I went again. Somebody talked about it on LinkedIn. I was like, oh my god, it's the one. So since then, it's on the top of my destination. So I'm very happy to talk with Edo, who founded Sende in Spain, and is looking to do it in Portugal, but you're not from any of those countries. Isn't that right?
That's right. Thank you, Fanny, for the invitation. Correct. I am coming from the Balkans, from Serbia, and 10 years ago, I ended up in the mountains of Spain, where we started Sende.
Tell me, why Spain? Why not Serbia or?
Well, idea started in Serbia, where we were organizing international events. So we would bring people from all over the world, also in one tiny village where we would rent one volunteer's house, and we would work on human rights, on education, and on entrepreneurship, and we would be creating kind of 7 days or 10 days experiences with people who would come there. And that's where the idea of Sende sparkled, because one girl told us, Edo, when are you going to create this 7 days experience, but that would last for a year or forever? And kind of that was the click for me, where I started thinking, okay, how we can make this sustainable. So we bring people from all over the world, and they stay in our place, and where we can have unlimited time for creation. So it kind of started in Serbia, and we continued it here.
Yeah, because Sende is not just a co-working, it's more a co-living where you can work too.
That's correct. So Sende is a co-working and co-living space. That means that people come to work, but also they have space to sleep. So usually they come, they would stay for a month at our place, and we would cook together. We would during the days everyone works on their projects, but in the evenings we cook, we dine together. In the weekends we do together excursions. So we have this. Basically, Sende is a space for people to have for people who work online to have their offline life. So we are in the business of solving the problem of what I'm going to do when I'm not on my laptop, when I'm not typing on my keyboard, and what I'm going to do, and who is going to be my friend. So we are more kind of in the business of providing space where people build their friendships, while at the same time they can travel and work online.
Yeah, but to me it sounds logical, but I guess when you started it, or when you were thinking about starting, it wasn't so clear, wasn't it?
Of course not. When we were starting, there was no such a business, especially in the rural place. So we didn't know.
Yes.
We didn't have kind of role models that we could look upon. There was Peter Faber, who was starting a surf office in Canary Islands, and that was it. So I believe it was on us to be pioneers in this world, and to think where this kind of business will go in the future, and how. So that is also, I like these kind of challenges, because maybe it's more difficult because we don't have any role models, or we don't know what direction to take, but also it's kind of unknown, but also we can experiment. So we had this opportunity because we had our own spaces. We started with one, then we bought another house, and we were bit by bit we were buying more spaces. So kind of we played it very lean, very secure. So we didn't.
So you really started with one house.
We started with two houses, and the neighbors gave us one abandoned shed that we started that became our co-living space, in the co-working space, and from there we more spaces around, and was everything was kind of lean, was very slow, was slow with big steps, but also was slow and was secure. We say, okay, let's test if this
Yes.
works, if this business works, because it doesn't exist in the world. So it was our hypothesis that people will work online in the future, and so we started. It was starting to working very well, and then when we would make money, we would buy new window, we would buy new house, we would buy new floor,
Yes.
and since then, yeah.
And I understand you had the support from the people from the locals. You were saying they gave you barns, abandoned barns, something like that.
Yes, we arrived to the 20 inhabitants village, and so we took time to bond with people because we came to their land, so we were kind of intruders, and so it took time that we show that we are good people. We just want to be neighbors and we want to collaborate. Yes. And when people realized this, then it was everything became much easier. So they were very supportive. We were helping each other. In our village, there is only 20 old inhabitants, so they love that young people are coming back there. So if they could, in almost every house they had maybe 4 or 5 barns or houses around, or they're abandoned. So or they have a lot of gardens that they cannot maintain before they could when they were younger. Now no. So even today we are using maybe 4 or 5 gardens that are not ours, but neighbor just told us just grow your food there because yes, exactly. So it's very it's very nice, very collaborative. So that's kind of we think that we invented this co-working and collaboration, but we not. This is existing since centuries ago, and
because if you put yourself in their shoes, you're not people living in the rural village, and young people working online, you don't really know what they're doing, are coming in, and it can be scary. But like you were saying, you took it slow, you explain again and again, and you built momentum.
Yeah, I would say that is part of because our neighbors are also part of our communities, and I would say that if we need to say who is more important, our clients or our neighbors, I would say our neighbors are more important because they are there forever and they are there near us, and we need to take care of ourselves. So so for example, when we need to decide shall the party be longer and louder or shorter so our neighbors can sleep, usually we go with our neighbors because I believe we need to take care about us, and then our neighbors appreciate this, and then they take care about our clients. So it's kind of I would say, and this happens
an ecosystem.
Ecosystem, and I follow a lot of new co-living spaces, especially ones in the rural, and a few of them had very big clashes with the neighbors since they come and they say, no, this is how it should be because this is the innovation, this is the fastest way. And often when we deal with local community, we often need to swallow our pride and to say, okay, even though this is maybe faster, even though we are modern people, that we can do this with one click, but let's do let's follow how people were working and doing this for years here, and maybe it's more important to respect them than to impose our rules, and I would believe that would be the way.
I feel it's the common part of all those local initiatives is to work with the local and not just saying we're here for 1 or 2 months and we're just between us doing our own thing and doing maybe parties or whatever, but between us, and not meeting the locals or not getting interested in how the local live. Doesn't mean you have to be like that all your life, but just test it for like 1 or you were saying most people coming stay about a month, right?
Exactly. Like for we try people stay for a month. I would say that it's ideal for 1 month because ideal to bond with other people. Ideal to live. To say that you slow down somewhere. To say that you maybe lived somewhere. To enough to meet the neighbors, to meet the locals, but also if it's, let's say, if one group stays for 3 months, then that converts into Big Brother scenario. No, people need conflict, and then it start in 1 month. There is no time for conflict because everything is nice, everything is perfect, everything is beautiful. but
Yes.
often people need conflict in order to continue, no? And day to day. So I would say that for us, we were testing this for 10 years, and every time we have longer stays, it doesn't work. Only sometimes we allow longer stays in some specific situations,
Yes.
but usually 1 month is enough, especially for the small co-living spaces, because small co-living space needs to grow. And if it's all the same people all the time repeating, then space doesn't grow, and on the long run, this is not good. This is not sustainable. So I would say the mix of old guests, like 30% of the old guests and the 70% of the new guests, and each of them should stay 1 month, is the ideal.
You're saying it's a small? How many people are there in the co-living in total?
So for us, the ideal group is from 15 to 25. 25, already more than 25 of co-livers who work already for more than 25 turns out to fiesta, to the party. So when we do events, we also do different events. So we host up to 40 people, but this is like 7 days event, 40 people, it's intense and it's completely different. But when people need to come to work, to be productive, smaller is better, because we also cook. And these people also cook, everyone cooks. So when you come to Sende, also probably you will cook for others. So you don't want to cook for 40 people. It's different with quantities.
No.
Everything is more difficult. You would spend whole day in the kitchen. But for 15 people, it's for 15 to 20, it's quite okay.
It's feasible. It's feasible.
Yes.
It starts to get challenging. Yeah. Okay, I see. And you were saying, so you do the 1 month longer terms, and you do 7 days shorter term, right?
Yeah, so we usually don't do 7 days. Yeah, 7 days we do only for events. Let's say Boschesio Festival of Illustrators, it's 7 days. We have a project on peace building and conflict transformation, 7 days. But that's for groups, where we have facilitators, where we have food, where we have everything organized. And then when we do co-living with digital nomads, with remote workers, it's different. This is like 1 month, people come, they stay. Sometimes we allow shorter stay when there are spots. Sometimes, let's say, people from Vigo who are 2 hours from us, then sometimes they don't want to stay 1 month, they come for 15 days, and that is also okay. But usually we limit it at 30 days.
And are people coming back, for example, after 3 years or every year, or I don't know?
People come back. People come back often. One time we had 70% of people in August that they returned, repeated. But also that was the moment when we say, okay, we will not allow anymore that same group of people repeat every month in the same month, because
the goal is that new people meet new people to have
exactly.
different
But also
synergy.
what we do is like every month there is 30% of old people, because it's also fair. They want to come back. We are small space, so we don't have enough spaces. We have much more demand. So, and we also want to. And also not fair that someone stays only one time. So what we do is like we limit. We say 30% for people who stayed already, and then 70% for new people. And this also helps us, because this 30% in the first 5 days, they are community managers. They are running our community. I believe that community should be run by community, not by one person. And so these
by
people
the community itself,
they are helping out. We have this WhatsApp group where we communicate all issues or all notification or announcements. Hey, dinner is ready, or hey, head talk stars or excursion, let's organize this. So everything's happened in the group. So in the first few days, we are answering, because people don't know how to live in rural. Usually some people come and they are they are in the new place. So there is always some small issues. So our community, old people who stayed in Sende, often they are the ones who answer these messages, and they are the one who help each other. And it's very nice. And it helps us.
Yeah, transfer of knowledge.
Exactly.
How life happens here.
Exactly.
So you've been doing this for 10 years, living in a small village in Spain, and now you're thinking, I want to go to, not too far, to Portugal.
Correct. I'm now in Portugal. I'm now here, and it's new location of Sende. We are still building it. It's located 35 minutes from Lisbon, from the Lisbon airport, but it's in rural. So all around us is like full of trees and the birds. We have only one neighbor, but also this time we are much closer to to the city, to the civilization, to the Setúbal, which is only 15 minutes by car. And so here we built a first space, which is kind of big kitchen and common sala for work. And then we had to build everything from scratch. We built like kind of big toilets, even the fence. We brought sewage, we brought electricity, we brought water, we brought internet, and now we have we started organizing events. This at the moment this is only space for events. We sleep in the when we have events, we sleep in tents, everyone, and then idea is to build I don't know, maybe 3 houses, one more co-working space, some tool workshop, and different kind of elements around.
Yeah, so it's totally a different concept than from Sende in Spain, because it's not in a village where there are people living. You only have one neighbor, and you're building from scratch, making it whatever you want.
Exactly. So in Sende was correct. In Galicia, in Spain, it was more about us adapting to the village, to living with the village, but also to adapt to the houses. There were stone houses, and we would take the house and then think, okay, what we can build inside it. Here, it's opposite, inverse. We can build whatever we want, but there is no village around. I prefer a version with the villages, but also here nature is very nice. So it's different. It's just different, and and it's cool because it's different. I believe that also people who come to one send and to another, there are two different decisions, and it's nice. So they can stay in both spaces because they are completely here. They would eat fresh fish. In Galicia, they would eat more veggies and more meat. So it's all kind of everything. Everything is different. I would say.
So I understand it was a choice to make it different and not to just take the same thing and put it somewhere else, but to vary it a bit, to have some diversity.
To be honest, we didn't choose too much because it was not easy to find the space. We knew the space when we saw it. We knew that we will like it. So we had few options, but this one we fell in love in this space here. So we knew that we wanted, but also it's a challenge. It's co-living is, in my opinion, it's beautiful business. It's always different every day. My day is completely different, and that's what I like about it. So it's I like these kind of new challenges which are involved on many levels. No, so we do from constructions, from talking with workers. Sometimes we construct on our own. At the same, then I do podcasts, then I do writing, then I record another course, then I don't know, travel to do partnership building. Then I'm with people around here, and then I'm grilling barbecue for everyone. So it's so many elements in my day. Yeah, and it's so different and so beautiful. So
it's a real adventure.
Really.
And so this place in Portugal, you say it's for events right now. Do you plan to make it for many different things, many different projects? Having co-living, maybe co-working, if it's close to the city, maybe some people can come only for the day, or what are you planning to do?
So it will be also like co-working, co-living. At the moment only for events, but in the future it will be more space where people can come and stay as well, like in Spain, and we are still thinking how it will exactly. We still don't know how it will work because we don't know if it doesn't make sense to let people stay here for a month because it's not a village. But also at the same time we are 15 minutes from the coast, from the bay, from the sea, so there is a lot more activities to do here. Also, Lisbon is very close by, so we can also involved with social innovation and connect Lisbon with Setúbal. It's very easy. So we also have the same thing in Setúbal. So I believe it will be a bit different. We still don't know how, but we will also connect it with Spanish Sende. So I don't know. We will see. Exactly.
Yeah, because I guess that in Spain it was the same too. You didn't plan everything. It happened bit by bit.
In Sunday, Spain, everything happened bit by bit because 90% of what we do in Sende was invented in Sende with people who come there. So that's also beauty of co-living because you don't know what will occur we don't know what will happen until people come and until we click with someone and say, hey, Miguel, are we going to organize this festival for illustrators? So that's what's happened. Miguel came and he said, I have this idea in my mind for years, and I finally found the perfect spot. And now we have 10 years of beautiful festival that is booked every year in a few minutes. So it's most of the things that happen, they happen here. And that's the also power of co-living space. It's about people come here to think on the future. That's why a lot of times the future starts here in this space, and that is something that it's kind of difficult to explain. But when we were starting Sende, the only thing that we still continuing to do is working with digital nomads. We were building a space where people who work remotely will come, but all other things are invented in the space, and all we need to do is like bring people from different profiles, from different cultures, put them together in the same space, make them nice environment, and see what happens.
Some barbecue. And talking about the future, is there anything in the pipeline that's already decided or that you want to work on? Maybe or not.
Yes, right now I'm fully focused on working with our new product. It's a course for people who are starting. It's a business course for people who are starting their co-working, co-living, and it starts now on January 23rd. And there is already the first group formed. It's fully sold out, and the next one will start in March. And it's about we teach everything we know. I teach everything I know about co-living. I teach all our process, everything what happens in the Sende. So people who start their space, they have it more easier. They have it everything on the plate, so they can just use what already works. Exactly. And not just operation, but also how we think about campaigns, how we design marketing, how we communicate. It's kind of everything in one course. And then I sit with them and analyze their space. And then we try to also, because we cannot host so many people, and already Sende became too small for all the people who want to use co-living. So we also want, and out there is a lot of co-living spaces which are not good. They are not good because they are not good for many reasons. It's not co-living is not just having hostel and then turning it, removing the name hostel and putting the name of co-living. That's what people do. So this is also our way to kind of educate a bit how we work, what works, and like this, we can also recommend these spaces to our clients because we cannot host them, so they can go to other co-living, and we can help them like this with marketing.
Are you thinking about creating a network of co-living with a same mindset, a same mission or way of doing things, or?
I think it's not network. It's not easy to create this kind of networks because I believe that every colleague should be different. No, I think every colleague should be different, but
it should,
But what I think that we should respect our guests, respect our people, because people before decide to come to our co-living, they analyze the space. They analyze so many elements, not just website, not just Instagram, but also what is going around, all the side projects, all the values, who stay there, safety. Like they analyze so many elements before they decide to come to one co-living space, and they need to spend maybe 1,000 or 2,000 euros on their trip, on their whole experience with food, with everything. So a lot of time they got cheated and they go to one space and they have very disgusting experience and they cannot come back because they spend the money. So I believe that and there is so much demand, at the same time there is a very few offers out there. So I believe that it's some fixes are very like easy to fix.
Now is the time.
About caring, exactly. So it's more about this sharing our values so people can apply them. And we also have I talk about this paid course, but we also are making this download Sende, which is already out there. We are testing it with 2 spaces. And it's kind of free version of it, where it's not like it's not about business, but it's about for people who want to start, especially in the villages, a co-living space, and we teach them for free how they can do it. So their money is not involved, so they can bring people who will stay there for free, but they will help, I don't know, development of maybe some
Yeah, it's
rural
for
area and
starting,
making
for
their
the
presence.
beginning,
Exactly.
building the foundation, and then when they have more leverage, you can take the course or another one and build on it bit by bit. But I feel there's this trend right now of making remote. Usually people working remotely would still work close to a big city, something like that, because you have to meet your clients, because you need the infrastructure. But now there are more and more people working remotely or with longer experience of having worked remotely, and they decide to live remotely too, so not next to a big city because they can afford it, because they take the leap. So this is trend of making remote.
No, definitely. It's a big change that is already visible and it started and it's out there. So it will only go. I think it
More and
will
more.
only grow. This exactly.
Yeah. I feel. I know another. I don't know if you know Rowena on LinkedIn. She published
Yeah,
a
of
lot
course. She
about
was in
remote
Sende.
work.
She stayed in Sende, Rowena. She's very
I
active.
knew it because she was saying she moved to Spain because of her child who is sick, for the breath and to dry it out, and it worked perfectly, and that's why she's so happy to be able to work remotely, because she can be in a dry climate for her child, and it's working. So
She's
that's why
wonderful
I'm
example
super
of a
happy.
family who moved and she's great communicator.
For
She
their
communicates
kids.
very well.
Yeah. So
I agree.
that's one of the great story of remote work, when you really need it, and it just worked.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, we're coming to the end of this interview. We talk about so many different things, but maybe there's still something you would like to add.
Well, I would just nothing. I would just share that I believe for all people who are maybe starting their co-living spaces, or people who are choosing to go to some, I believe that co-living spaces are here to stay, because people will always need kind of place to stay and place to make friendships. So, and I believe there is so many nice small living, nice small co-living spaces out there in the world, and especially in the rural. I love that people are building their co-livings in the rural, because rural also becomes abundant, and it becomes like big problem. So I really love like to see that how co-livings are popping up everywhere, and they are ones that are helping kind of to bring back maybe some abandoned villages to life, or villages with few inhabitants. So I believe that that is very very important. And yeah, if someone wants to follow us, they can just Google Sende, or on Instagram put Sende, and maybe they can find us there.
Yeah, what's the best place to find information about you and about Sende? Is it your website, Instagram?
Yeah, sende.co, without them, sende.co, and Instagram Sende, just Sende, and that's it. People can see what we do.
Yeah, I'll add them in the comment. And if anyone has a question to Edo about Sende or what we discussed today, be sure to add them in the comment, maybe here on LinkedIn, or later it gets published on YouTube. And I'll check them out. I'll send them to Edo if needed.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fanny.
Well, thank you very much for coming here. And for this wonderful conversation, and we'll catch up again in the comments. Bye.
Okay, all right. Ciao, thank you, Fanny.